Well, hello QNI. Welcome to QNI Week 4, where we're going to be talking about margaritas. You'll notice I don't have a delightful 9-month-old strapped to me, but I do have my lovely wife, Alexis. Are you a margarita fan?
I am.
Here, come into the frame. There we are. What do you like about margaritas?
I do like the tequila,
Okay.
but I don't like tequila shots.
I was going to say, you don't have like a scarred memory of tequila from college?
I have a scarred memory of tequila shots.
Okay.
But margaritas are fine.
Got it. Okay.
I like the lime.
Yeah. Go on.
That's all. I like the
You like the lime?
And the salt. The salt on the rim's my favorite
You
part.
put salt on salt.
I do. I like salt and salt.
Got it. Do you remember the special margarita I make, the Kingsville margarita?
Yes, it's got
What's in that one?
cucumber and cilantro and is it chili powder on the rim?
Chili powder, agave
With salt?
nectar, all sorts of fun stuff.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, today's just going to be a normal, very easy to make margarita, and we are expecting our second child, so no margaritas for this one. Maybe a sip if you want, but
Maybe a sip.
maybe a sip. But she agreed to be the good-looking one in the video for a little while, just a cameo, because I don't have Valerie with me. So I'm gonna get started, darling. You come and go as you please. Our cat is a lunatic, so that's, if you hear things running around, that's our demon cat. So, all right, let's get started. You gonna stay in? You want to stay in or no?
I'll
You can
stay
go
in.
over here. Yeah. All right. So, what did we talk about with cocktails? We had sweet, sour, and bitter. So for margaritas, our sweet is going to come from triple sec, or if you're a fancy person, Cointreau. The original margarita recipe calls for Cointreau. Basically any sort of orange liqueur. Triple sec is super cheap. This is $7.99 at the store, DeCupers. You don't need to go spend a lot on it. Cointreau is a little pricier, but it's also much better. It will not fundamentally change the drink. It's just going to be a little smoother. We're going to get a bit of bitter and a bit of sour from both the lime juice that we're going to use and also from the tequila. They're each going to contribute some of that. You'll notice absent from that mix is any sort of sour mix. There's not going to be any sweet and sour mix in a real margarita. You do what you want in your free time, but if you're going to mix a margarita at home, I recommend that you keep it really simple. Lime, tequila, and some sort of orange liqueur. We also have salt that we can rim it with, and we're going to use lime as a garnish. So this is a very simple, very classic drink, and there's no reason to make it more complicated. So let's get started. I always like to start with the hardest thing, so that's usually squeezing the fruit. I hate doing that part, so I'm cutting my limes in half here. And we are going to keep the proportions simple tonight as well. It's going to be 2 ounces of tequila, 1 ounce of lime juice, and 1 ounce of our triple sec or Cointreau. So I'm going to squeeze the lime, get my little lime squeezer. All right, there we go. That was not a lot. I'm not quite sure that's going to be enough, so we'll use the other half as well. I find that using fresh lime juice is a huge improvement. If you have a jar of it, like a bottle of lime juice from the store, I've made margaritas with that. They've been perfectly tolerable. I won't say you can't do it. Desperate times call for desperate measures. However, if you can pick up a lime or two, that's really all you need, and it does make a difference. And that goes for most fruit. When it calls for lemon juice in a drink, I'd recommend a real lemon. If you don't have one at home, you don't need to run out to the store to get it, but not the biggest deal. So, of course, as always, we're going to need ice. So here we have our ice, pre-cracked. Wonderful. So we'll go ahead and throw the usual, 6 in here. We want it to be nice and cold. We're going to be shaking this drink. We'll do 5, that's fine. We're going to be shaking this drink. We can leave that out for now because I'll put some in later. And let's see, 22 and we said 1 ounce, right? Okay, we'll just use the ounces tonight. How easy is that? Oh, my goodness. That worked out to be perfectly an ounce. Well done, Ben. What did Han Solo say? Sometimes I impress even myself. That doesn't seem too hard. So we have an ounce of lime juice. I'm going to go ahead and use the Cointreau tonight. My parents got this for me for my birthday, so parents, if you're watching, thank you. Go ahead, have a drink. Live a bit. There we go. There's an ounce of that. Now, for the tequila. Tequila, Tequila can get a bad reputation. Tequila can be seen as all the same. Truthfully, I'm told that there is as much variety and levels of quality in tequila as there is scotch or bourbon or many other types of liquor. So I've been to tequila bars where they have over 200 on offer, and you can try all of them if you have enough money and time and liver. But the fact remains, there's many different levels of tequila. For most margaritas, it's not going to matter a lot. The better tequila you use, the better margarita I'm sure you'll have. I have an example of something that I found very serviceable. It's Jose Cuervo Especial, the blue agave. I like silver tequila for margaritas, or called blanco sometimes. So this is not particularly special, but it is particularly cheap, and it works really well. It's a step above your normal Jose Cuervo. What I'm going to use tonight is one that we bought or we got in Trinidad. I forget. Basically, it was large, so we could bring it to Trinidad and not have to go back for more. 1800 silver. Again, a silver tequila. So 2 ounces of this. Of course, this is easily doubled or tripled, etc., for however many people you're making it for. If there weren't a baby Zintac in there, I would make you one, darling. I know you'd enjoy it. So 2 ounces, bottoms up. In we go. And it's a margarita, so we're going to shake it. So we have our shaker glass, we got our pint glass, and here we go. By the way, a rookie mistake with shaking is to get really agitated doing it, just to relax. It's hard. I really want to get worked up. Relax the arms. Oh, you're gonna make me blush. Yeah, look at this. Small wonder there's kids coming out of the woodwork here. Right? Oh, this is always the tricky part. Taking it off without breaking the glass or spilling everywhere. Look at that, you got me all worked up.
I did.
Oh, there we go. The key is just be gentle and kind of work it side to side. And there we go. So, oh, look at this. An assistant that doesn't just scream and try to grab everything off the table. It's wonderful.
I can scream the whole time if that's better.
This is chemistry. Look at this. We should get married or something.
It's like we like each other.
Yeah. So we got a frothy margarita glass. You can see this is a big one. You could put it in a normal cocktail glass. You could put it in a rocks glass. You could put it in a highball. Margaritas have been served in every which way. There's no shortage of ways to serve it. Generally, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. It matters where it's going. In your mouth. So hold on. We got a strainer here. Now, I know I like my drinks to look neat, so I usually double strain. But with a margarita, we don't want that. We want it to have all those little bits of lime in there. It's kind of part of the drink. So we're just going to single strain.
I would wait and do your rim first.
Smart girl. Yes, it's easier to rim the glass when there's nothing in it. Because number one rule is you do not want to get salt inside the glass. We don't want that. We only want salt on the outside. That ticks me off. I'm not a hard man to please when it comes to drinking at bars and stuff, but if I find salt inside my margarita glass. So what I like to do, we're going to take our lime wedge that we've quartered here. You can see you just cut the lime in half and then you cut it into quarters. And then what I'll do is I'll put a slice right through the middle. So now we have a little lip there. All you're going to do is take that, put it on the edge of your glass, and just run it around like that. And now we have the glass has kind of been primed to take salt. So I'll take this off for a second. And now I have a plate full of salt, and all I'm going to do, I'm going to take my salt that I've put on the plate and I'm just going to kind of dribble it on there, and it's going to stick because of the frothiness and because of the lime juice. It's going to stick to that, and I'm holding it in a way to make sure that no salt gets on the inside of the rim. Now, you might say, what if someone may not want salt on their rim? Totally fine. I'm not a huge fan of it myself. I like it, but I don't like a lot. What I like to do most of the times, unless I know someone like Alexis wants a ton of salt, I'll salt about half of it. And then they can sip out of the side without salt, or they can go nuts on the side that does. So we've got our salted glass. You can use fine salt, you can use thick salt. This is Malden sea salt from somewhere in Britain where I guess they have salt. It's all I had in the pantry, but it also works pretty well because it's nice thick sea salt flakes. So then, now that we've salted our rim, we can take our strain, single strain, in it goes. The next point of contention is whether or not to put ice in there. And I would say 90% of people prefer ice in their margarita. I generally like it neat. I don't like frozen margaritas. They're fine, I guess, if you're like on spring break or something. Good for you. Tequila or margaritas are traditionally served on the rocks, though. So I will honor that tradition tonight and throw 1 or 2 ice cubes in here. I usually drink it fast enough that it doesn't really matter, but since we have room in the glass, you can see we put some rocks in there. So we've got a margarita on the rocks with a salt rim, and we'll give it a shot. It's very refreshing, perfect for a hot day. Good use of that tequila you got sitting around that you bought, when you were 21 or whatever, and you haven't really touched. It's an excellent use of it. Do you want a sip, Darla, or no?
I'll take a sip.
A sip? All right.
Just 1 sip.
You're just going to lick the salt off the entire edge, aren't you?
Just lick all the salt.
Malden sea salt.
It's good.
What do you think? Well balanced? The key again is balance. So you might say, hey, Ben, I heard about a pomegranate margarita, or I heard about a mango margarita. It's basically going to be the same. Just make sure that when you're adding those fruit flavors, you take out whatever that sweetness is. So if you're going to put in a bunch of mango juice or pomegranate juice or something, you're adding sweet. So we're going to use less of the triple sec, or you're going to have to put in more of the tequila and the lime juice to balance it. You could also take out a little bit of the lime juice if you don't want it to be too fruity. So QNI, as always, it's a pleasure. Cheers. Thanks for watching. Say goodnight, Alexis.
Good night.
Are you not going to say goodnight, Alexis?
I thought about it. That's a dad joke.
I guess I qualify for those now. Does it like increase exponentially with more children?
It does.
It's going to be a long marriage. Yeah?
It is.
Well, thank you, QNI. You've been great.